Good afternoon or good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bill Crane and Gary Patterson Sports Report. Another dandy show is coming up, and without further ado, we're going to jump right into it.
Yeah.
But first, I want to remember a couple of stars that passed away. Frank Larry.
Frank Larry?
Yeah. He was the Yankee killer for the Tigers.
Okay, yeah.
Died at 87 down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, wow. He had a good run.
And
87.
he was a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Not Hall of Fame numbers, but he was a good pitcher, over 500, and a real competitor. And
God bless him.
Yep. And the other one is Johnny Bauer.
Johnny Bauer.
Johnny Bauer died at 93.
93.
Hall of Fame goaltender for the Toronto Maple Leafs,
Yeah.
New York Rangers. He was a great player.
He was.
And he didn't
back in the day.
break into the league because that was a 6-team league then.
Right. Tough to
And
do.
he didn't break in until he got in his 30s.
No kidding.
And he was an outstanding goaltender.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember him.
Yeah. And met him a couple of times after the games for autographs. The most gracious man you'd ever want to meet.
Is that right?
Yeah, real gentleman.
Yeah, most of them were back then.
They were, yeah.
And still are when it comes to hockey players.
So, may they both rest in peace.
Yep.
Gary, before we get to sports, I gotta tell you something.
Okay.
The Dow's up 35.5% last year.
It is, yes.
Well, actually, since Inauguration Day for President Trump.
Right.
The S&P's up 25, and the NASDAQ's up 33. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think it's continued to grow. I mean, it's the key to the whole thing, right? Economic growth is the key to the whole deficit and everything else. So, I think the pieces have been put in place by and large. Deregulation, tax cuts.
Oh, deregulation's a big one. Oh, and the tax cuts.
Yep.
And now it's going to be interesting because I think he's going to strong arm these companies. Bring the money back.
Right. I think he is too.
Yeah. So you're going to stay fully invested?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
You always have the one saying, "Get out, everything's crashing to the end."
Yeah, take something off the top.
You've been reading them for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a long-term investor.
Yeah. Buy and hold.
By and large.
A little trading.
I'll
in
get
there.
some money in funds and then a little playing around money to buy and sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the mutual funds.
Right.
And then over here, a few stocks to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How about Bitcoins? Are you going to toss your money at Bitcoins?
No, I don't think so. I'm not even sure I understand what a Bitcoin is, but...
Well, neither does Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's partner.
Is that right?
He says...
Everybody talks about it, but nobody can really tell me exactly what it is. I'd say cryptocurrency, which I guess
Yeah. Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger was quoted, "I think it's perfectly asinine to even pause to think about Bitcoins. They're total insanity. Avoid it like the plague."
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's a guy 93 years old that is about as sharp as a tack. He is one of the great interviews, if you ever get a chance to see
Really?
him.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you want to talk about somebody that doesn't believe in PC?
Yeah.
And tells it like it is. Oh,
He's your man, huh?
He's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's a pip. Well, okay. Now, I agree with you, by the way, on the market.
Yeah.
We're not. I'd be hard pressed to think that we're going to see those same numbers.
No.
But I'll tell you, overall growth in the stock market exchanges, put it all together, I this could be a 15 to 18% year.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely.
I'd be very happy if my
Yep.
holdings went up 15 to 18%. I would
That
say
would
that
be
was a good
successful
move.
year.
Now, tell me something, and then we'll get back to the really good stuff here, the sports. But Chinese stocks last year. One of the mutual funds from Fidelity Emerging China was up 47%. Another one was up 53%. I don't think I'd buy Alibaba or Tencent or the others, but boy, those funds
Are interesting. Yeah.
they are.
Right. So
I haven't really jumped into them yet because the U.S. market has been ahead of the foreign market.
Yeah.
And why jump out of the U.S. market?
Right.
But right now, I think we may see some real opportunities over there.
yeah, I think so. I mean, long-term growth.
Yeah, yeah,
They have big plans.
they do. They do indeed. So I may throw a few bob at that. All right, we've predicted the stock market. Now, how about the Patriots?
How about the Patriots? Yeah, they're bye week. We tape this as they're in their bye week, so we'll see what happens. I like their chances. I'm a little worried about the defense. They're just thin. They get. We'll see, and we'll see
something
how
happens
that
here
goes.
and something there.
Yeah.
It's like a
Now,
boat.
the good news is the secondary's healthy.
Yep.
And solid. So, but that front seven, that's a little troubling.
There's some individuals on that line that are pretty darn good, though.
Yeah.
But
They have their moments.
what happens
Trey Flowers.
when... Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. He's a football player, isn't he?
And the other Flowers, the linebacker, has played well. but
The
we'll
Butler
see.
kid.
The Butler kid has been tough.
And Brown has had his moments, especially the last couple of games.
Right.
He actually looked like a monster out there a couple of times.
Yeah. So there's some hope. I think the linebacker, we'll see what
Yeah.
James Harrison can do. I think he can be a contributor.
Certainly looked like it the other
He did.
day.
And if we ever play Pittsburgh, he'll be just a maniac.
Yeah.
He'll be out of his mind.
Yeah. He sure will be.
He'll be out of
He'll
his
come
mind
to
if we play
play.
the Steelers. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's saying all the right things, too.
Yeah.
You got to love it. So I was thinking about kind of looking back at last year. A few notes here. The Pats win the Super Bowl as Atlanta falls up like a cheap card table.
Yeah. Indeed they did.
I can see this team going all the way again. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a little more difficult.
Yeah, me too. But really, who's going to beat them, right? Who's going to beat them? Is Kansas City going to come into Foxborough and beat them?
I don't see that happening.
So I like their chances of getting there. And then the question is, can they win the game? Who are they going to be playing? Is it Minnesota? I mean, I thought it might be Philly, but I don't think it's going to be Philly.
I don't think so either. I think the Rams have a
So
chance
the Rams
to get in.
and Minnesota,
Yeah.
I would see as
Yeah.
the two likely.
By the way, if that's how it works out, that's going to be a good football game.
Right.
Hopefully they'll
But
both...
the Super Bowl is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So Minnesota would actually be a home team. Even though their season ticket holders won't be able to get
Right.
the seats.
Yeah,
but
of course.
It'll be in Minnesota.
It'll be at home. They'll
Won't that be fun
comfortable.
going up there for a week
Yeah.
for Super Bowl,
Yeah.
instead of going to Miami or...
Pete Carroll still jumps around the sidelines with a blank stare,
Yeah.
wondering how Malcolm Butler intercepted that pass.
Yeah, Pete has a shelf life. He's getting close, I think.
Yeah, I was just going to say, how much longer are they going to put
Yeah,
up
he's
with that?
had a shelf life everywhere he's been.
Yeah.
And he does good things, and then
This is,
it gets old. So I think he's got maybe one more season there.
Then he's
But
got to go to the Big Ten
Yeah.
or
That team has
Southern
issues.
Cal or somebody.
Yeah.
Because this, obviously, I don't think he's really,
They got Russell
pro
Wilson
coach.
and then a bunch of issues on
Yeah.
that team. So,
and they always have, too.
yeah. Well, Russell Wilson's a nice place to start. But
Well, Russell Wilson is a fine football player.
he is.
But, you
Their
know,
offensive line is terrible.
yeah. When will you attend your first Justin Bieber concert, by the way?
I don't anticipate seeing that pop up on my schedule.
You
at
don't
all.
think that's...
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, on another team, this is just a couple of notes I've written down. Gronk and James Harrison would be huge stories.
Yeah.
Oh, how can they ignore Gronk? And he's got to be talked off. And James Harrison's he's been trouble in the past. And all of a sudden he comes here and he lights a place on fire. And if you've noticed, which you have, it's another day at Foxborough.
Yeah. That's the way it works.
There's nothing that's a big deal.
Right.
I mean, this is the Patriot way.
Right.
And Gronk was involved blocking. He was involved taking 2 defenders with him when he went out in the pass pattern.
Yeah.
So he was certainly adding to the team effort.
Right. It was interesting, though, that he was, whatever it was, and it was still a pretty big number. I think it was maybe 11 catches short of triggering a $2 million bonus, that they never even looked his way once. I mean... and
you're right.
he still has the option to get that money if he's named All-Pro.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. If he doesn't make first team All-Pro,
yeah,
then there's something wrong with the voting system.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's some good tight ends, though.
There is.
Kelsey, Kansas City had a good year.
Yeah.
Another good year.
Yep. But I like the guys who are on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. He played for the Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
look what he did.
I think the Pittsburgh game
Yeah.
clinched it for him.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And James Harrison, if they did that for any other team, it would be headlines in that town.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Well,
the Patriots have this thing. Oh, another guy steps up. That's all.
Yeah. She's just another part of the puzzle.
A part of the puzzle. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. It's a newsflash, too. Jerry Jones says that Jason Garrett will return as the Cowboys coach.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that.
I think Garrett's doing a good job, but they haven't gotten the pieces yet
Yeah.
for this team. Plus, there's been injuries, suspensions, you name it.
I think his biggest problem is he's got Jerry Jones as a general manager.
That's exactly right. Exactly right.
That's his biggest problem.
Yeah. I agree totally. Then I want to go off the reservation.
Just finish on the Cowboys. Supposedly they're looking to get rid of Dez. Either cut him or try to get somebody to take him.
Let me tell you, I know a team that could, if anybody could handle him, I know a team that could handle him.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we traded the pick to them. We had that pick, 24th, I think it was.
Yeah.
And we traded it to them and moved down, and they picked Dez Bryant.
Yeah. I'll tell you who I have. Every once in a while, I have these little fantasies way back here. Larry Fitzgerald, still.
Yeah.
Can't make up his mind whether he wants to play another year or not. But boy, when the calm settles and all the football's over, you think Brother Belichick will give him a call?
I don't know. They may reach out through agents or whatever.
Oh, that's what I mean.
I mean, we'll see. Because Arizona's in it, right? Arians retired.
Yep. And
Carson
Palmer
retired. So they're in full-fledged rebuild mode.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
wouldn't it be nice for Fitz to come here,
yeah,
play in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. That's an interesting idea of him playing somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe it's here. Maybe it's San Francisco, catching passes for Jimmy G.
Well, let me tell you something. John Lynch put out quite a statement.
Did he?
About Jimmy G. Today, I believe it was today. It was on the head of the list.
Yeah.
That he's going to be with San Francisco for a long time.
Long time, yeah.
And,
they have control of him.
Yeah. And someone, now the interviewer said, well, it's going to be very expensive. And Lynch said, we got plenty of money, we'll pay him.
They do. They've got tons of cap space.
That's not going to be an issue.
They've got like $80-90 million or something.
Yeah.
So
Garoppolo at 26.
Lock him up.
Yep. So lock him up. That's
Yep.
right. That's going to be good. Tony Romo, the last game that I watched that he was on, him and Jim Nantz.
yeah.
That pairing is not compatible. They try to be funny, and yet neither one of them is comical.
Yeah.
And
Romo really went off a couple of times,
yeah,
too.
and neither one of them's a straight man.
Right.
And so they can't feed the other guy lines. There's no chemistry there.
Yeah. I kind of like Romo, though, when he's analyzing the game.
Yeah.
Because he knows what he's talking about. A lot of times he sees formations, and he'll say, oh, they're going to do this. And they almost every time, that's exactly what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. But when it's time to talk about other things,
Yeah.
doesn't
Right.
doesn't
Yeah, I don't
maybe
think
it's
there's a chemistry
inexperience.
there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But so that got me to thinking: who were my favorite announcers? I came down to one individual, a pair, and a threesome.
Okay.
Ray Scott, I think, was the best announcer
Ray
that
Scott was a good
ever
announcer.
was.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
star to Dowler, touchdown. Not much else.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
Pat Summerall and Jordan Madden, I think, are the gold standard.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. They were a generational
And the
pair.
threesome, a lot of people don't agree with me on this one. Al Michaels, Joe Theismann, and Paul McGuire.
Yeah, I remember that group. That was a good group.
I love Paul McGuire.
Paul McGuire was good because he'd say anything.
Yeah, and Theismann wouldn't take it.
Right.
See, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. That was a pretty good group. I
Yeah.
admit that.
I think right now, I think John Gruden is a pretty good analyst.
Yeah, I like him too.
He comes from the Mad Dog side
does.
of the thing. The other one would be Boomer Esiason, but he stinks in the
booth, yeah.
In the booth. That pre-game
so-
show, post-game show.
So if Gruden's going to go to the Raiders, which it looks like he is, then
Yeah,
there'll be
he's
a new Monday night
practically
guy.
asked for the
They
job.
need a new Monday night guy. Who's it going to be?
Wouldn't that be nice if it was Boomer?
Yeah.
Because he is very insightful.
Could it be Romo?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now you posed a beautiful question.
They're going to have to replace him.
Yeah. It's going to be tough replacing him, too.
He's good.
Because
Yeah,
he's good.
he is
Yeah.
good. I like him.
I like him a lot. Well, is that it for football?
How about those Buffalo Bills?
How about that?
Yeah. Happy for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm happy for the
I was
fans.
born in Buffalo.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those roots go deep.
Yeah. Well, not too deep, but yeah.
And I'm glad they don't have a dome up there.
Yeah. It's home field advantage.
Yeah.
Like Minnesota. Remember back in the day,
Oh.
Fran Tarkenton days in the playoffs up in Minnesota? That was a home field advantage.
That was, and the Patriots, also have one.
The Patriots absolutely have one, as Jacksonville's going to find out when they come up here.
Absolutely. I wonder if Jacksonville's going to get up here. Well, we'll touch on that in a little bit. And I'm going to make one more statement. A healthy Gronk is a all-world football player.
Yeah. And he appears to be healthy heading into the playoffs.
Isn't it?
So,
you know what? Now,
so is it because of the TB12 stuff? His flexibility now, or is?
But do you think that now Bob Kraft loves him?
Yes. And why not?
And what's not to love?
Right.
Do you think?
Because kids love him.
Yeah. And Bob Kraft may well have said to him, "Now listen, kid, don't get upset over this."
Yeah.
And if $2 million upsets you that much, I'll just tag it on to your next extension.
Yeah.
And you tell me
They'll work it
when
out.
you want that.
They'll work it out.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get the All-Pro, so I think he's going to get the $2
Yeah.
million anyway. But yeah, Gronk is a big part of the brand for Bob
Boy,
Kraft.
he sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's, on that note, if I can find it quickly and easily. Let's just say of the playoffs.
The football player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saturday, Kansas City at home, 7.5 over Tennessee.
Oh, boy. 7.5. Oh, man. That half is an absolute killer. Mm-hmm. I would probably take Kansas City.
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Yeah, that's a lot of points for.
The LA Rams at home, 5-point favorites over Atlanta.
Yeah, 5, huh?
Yeah, when you get down to good teams, these 5-pointers are beauties.
That 7.5's a killer. Yeah, 5 points. I would probably come down with the Rams.
Yep. And Jacksonville at home, 7.5, Buffalo.
Yeah, I love Buffalo, but at home I would have to lay those 7.5. Take
Yep.
Jacksonville.
Me too. And finally, New Orleans at home,
Yeah.
5.5, Carolina.
Yeah, I gotta go New Orleans.
Yep. Me too.
Some tough spreads there, though.
50% of these games, the underdog wins. Or
Yeah.
close to it.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, the gamblers would be broke.
I know. But when you have good teams, even during the regular season, I think when you have good teams, you can't get too spooked by the points either, right? Because this.
Which game do you like as your best bet?
I would probably take New Orleans. At home, I think they'll.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams.
That was my other choice.
Yeah. And I love New Orleans, too.
Yeah.
Now, folks, I'm going to bring you up to date. I hate to say this, breaks my heart, but Gary whipped me during the regular season.
Yeah, I got you at the end.
147 wins, 112 losses for Gary. 142 wins, 117 losses for Bill.
Both very respectable numbers.
Well, when you take a look at what the folks from the Globe did,
Yeah.
it's a wonderful numbers.
Yeah.
And the best bet, you beat me 14-4 against 11-7.
Yeah. Again.
Let me tell you something. We're a franchise ourselves
Yeah.
because we were way above.
I know it was a good year, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
was keeping track of on each week whether I just won or lost the week. Did I have more wins or losses? And got off to a slow start, 2-4 after
Yes.
6 weeks, but then
Bingo.
winning
That was,
the rest of the way. One push.
and by the
I had
way,
a 7-7 in there.
yeah, no, by the way, folks, Gary was 147 wins and 112 losses. The guy for the Herald, Jim Lazar, 100 wins, 108 losses, and 12 pushes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Globe guys, every one of the Globe guys, you whipped every one of the Globe guys, and so did I.
For the second year in a row, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, now I got this stupid piece of paper someplace here. You whipped them all. I lost to Norma Princiotti.
Norma Princiotti.
Yeah, she nipped me by, I think, one game. But
Yeah.
I beat the rest. These guys are supposed to be experts.
Nobody's an expert when it comes to this.
No.
The fans are the alleged experts on. They don't know any more than you or I know.
Obviously. Yeah.
The guys who really know what's going on are the guys that set those points.
Yeah. True story.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, interesting in our final chat here about football, John Fox, Jim Caldwell,
Yeah.
Chuck Pagano,
Yeah.
Ben McAdoo, Jack Del Rio, and Bruce Arians are all unemployed.
Right. So 6 jobs open, right?
Yeah, 6 jobs right now.
Right.
And I'll be willing to bet you there's going to be 1 or 2 more heads that are going to roll.
Right. So who do you think's more likely to leave, Patricia or Josh McDaniel?
Josh McDaniel. Well, who's going to get the more interest? Josh McDaniel.
Yeah.
I think Josh McDaniel probably is more ready to go than Patricia.
Right.
Patricia isn't allowed to talk to the press, so you don't really know what his people skills are like, but the guys love him.
Yeah, the guys love him. The players definitely like him, and he's also known to be tough, like Belichick.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. I think...
So the question is, if you're Josh McDaniels, you know, what franchises interest you? So, you know, the first thing is you want a quarterback, right? So who's got a legitimate quarterback? Do you think the Giants have a legitimate quarterback in Eli?
Eli wants out of town.
Well, does he still want out of town if a whole new management team comes in?
You don't know.
Ownership's still the same, of course, but...
Yeah. I think if I were in his position, and even though it's not a glamour job, I think I would say to my agent, see if Jacksonville is interested in me.
Yeah.
I mean, they get Bortles down there, and he's just not getting the job done, and they're winning in spite of him.
Right.
If I went down there... Remember
Yeah.
now, he's a Deep South boy.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, if you want to win, which he needs to win,
Yeah.
second time around, he needs to win. Mm-hmm. You know, the 2 best jobs are the Raiders, because you get Derek Carr, and probably Detroit, because you get Matthew Stafford, who's a very respectable, borderline all-pro type.
Yeah. I agree
I
with
mean,
you.
can you be the coach that takes Stafford to the next level?
Well, no.
Because he's got the physical skills. He's done some good things. He had a pretty good year.
he did have a good year.
Yeah.
Then he choked at the end.
So is he a guy that you could win with? I think he is. If you're really that guy.
If you get the cast of characters around.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about Indianapolis? I know they had to get rid of Pagano. He was just not a good coach.
Well, do you believe in Andrew Luck? A healthy Andrew Luck? Is Andrew Luck going to be healthy?
Has Jacoby Brissett shown you enough that you may be able to peddle Andrew Luck for a high draft choice? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
Indy could be a possibility. But
that Oakland deal, you say Derek Carr, but yet the stories going around is that he couldn't get along with the offensive coordinator out there.
Right.
Well, I don't like those kind of stories.
No, but in terms of having a guy who has the
Physical ability?
franchise potential, the potential to be a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, if they put Derek Carr in the market, they could get a lot for him right now. Now, if they called the Jets and said, "What will you give us for Derek Carr?"
Yeah.
back up the truck, they'd probably do it.
The Giants.
Giants, yeah.
You've got.
But Carr's going nowhere. I mean, I think he's a big part of the reason why Gruden's going there. Gruden knows he's got to have a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Gruden is the kind of guy that's going to kick butt and take names.
Right.
So
Carr had a disappointing year this year. There's no question about it. But he had a good year last year. Everybody thought his trajectory was up, and he kind of plateaued.
Yep.
So, next step.
All right. What's the next step for the Red Sox? I ask you, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. This J.D. Martinez thing, I don't know. How much are they going to pay this guy?
$88 billion.
I think he had his career year last year.
Yeah.
And he's in his 30s, right?
31, right?
So they're talking, supposedly they have a 5-year offer out there.
Yeah, they put a 5-year offer out.
Boris is his agent, and supposedly he wants 7 and 210 is what Boris wants. $30 million a year for 7 years. I wouldn't do it.
No.
They can't do it because for $30 million, you could probably lock up Machado. You know, whether it's now or at the end of the season. So, well, Red Sox fans, if their strategy is we're going to wait till next year because we're probably going to go get Manny Machado, and we're going to pay him $30 million a year. But we're going to lock him up for 6 years, and he's going to be our third baseman, 40 home run a year guy.
But that's what they said last year.
Yeah.
Bear with us.
I know.
We got a tough situation here financially.
They have a PR problem if they think that's the answer. Or maybe Bryce Hyde. I don't think they'll get Bryce Harper, but he'll be out there next year.
He'll be out there, though. And, but
I could see him going to the Cardinals.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts out
Yeah.
there. And, you know, Boris has got his finger in a lot of pies.
Yeah.
And what if Boris said to the Red Sox, look, I think we can work something out with Martinez for you guys. But tell me what you're going to do with JBJ. He's my client, too, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure
You're planning on dumping him to the Pittsburgh Pirates? Because I'm not going to stand for that.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm sure those discussions are being had.
Yes, indeed. I think the big story in baseball, the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Great story.
Yeah.
Great
they had a
story.
Terrific year.
And believe it or not, the number 2 story, resurgence of the New York Yankees.
Yeah. They're here to stay.
Number 3, Arizona D-backs and Torey Lovello.
Yeah. Great year.
And
kind of out of nowhere, too.
And probably, if I had done this properly, this should be the number 1 story. The very sad and confused lack of direction on the part of the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
They bring new meaning to the word comatose. By the way, some of the articles about the Red Sox are just saying, well, who knows what's going on Yawkey Way? Who can figure that out?
Right.
Usually they don't say things like that.
Yeah. I still will never understand their supposed lack of pursuit of Stanton. You know, I mean, how much are you going to pay J.D. Martinez? You're going to pay him 25 a year?
Yeah.
So for another $2 or $3 million, you get this guy, you get Stanton. I mean,
do you think
the Yankees gave up a crap package for him? They just took the money. They just took the money.
The money. Do you think the Red Sox were terrified of taking this guy on and having him opt out?
Yeah, but that's what, 2 years down? Mm-hmm. So you get you're guaranteed 2 seasons. Yep. I say you take your chances.
I'm with you. I don't understand it either.
I think he will opt out because I think next year Machado and Bryce Harper, they're going to get 30 plus. Those guys are going to get 30, maybe 35. Boris is going to be sitting there saying he wants 40.
Yeah.
You know,
and Boris will get it.
He might.
or something closely akin.
I think Bryce Harper is a Boras guy.
Yes.
I think he is.
If there's any justice in the world, Yawkey Way will stay Yawkey Way. If Mayor Walsh is so upset with Yawkey Way, why doesn't he put the word out to stop all the money the Yawkey Foundation donates to the city of Boston and the charities in the city of Boston? The greedy mayor is only too happy to see the green stuff scattered about Boston. What a hypocrite.
Is he going to also make Mass General change the name of the Yawkey Cancer Center?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
That is there because of the money Yawkey contributed?
Yawkey has contributed, the Yawkey Foundation, the numbers are hazy. We know it's more than $350 million, and they say it could be as much as $450 million to Boston-based charities.
Right.
And for these bozos to say, oh, well, I mean, he was a racist, he was this, he was that. That was a different era, and there's not one person that has ever been quoted as saying he heard a racist remark come from Tim Yawkey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. It's, you know.
And on my list also of questions, why won't they sign Addison Reed? What the hell is he
I'm not sure what
breath?
I'm not sure what the delay is there.
Yeah.
And you know, I did see something that, you know, they're questioning. It's kind of the question is Thornburg, right? Is Thornburg really back, and is he going to be back?
Who the hell
And
knows?
they're not going to know. They're not going to know until they get
Until he gets his hands on
Fort Myers and see what he looks
I
like.
think you still don't know until you see him in actual combat.
I would like to see him back, but I also think I still think they need to sign a lefty,
They got to sign a lefty.
and the lefties are falling by the wayside.
So the Red Sox, Cora says he's going to move Kimbrel around into a more versatile role this year. That's always smart. Take a closer and let's put him in the seventh inning or something. But it all comes, the end of this is, it all comes down to resources. And while teams like the Rockies are prioritizing the pen, it seems like an afterthought to those on Yawkey Way.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. They're not paying any attention. Well, they're not paying any attention to anything.
Right. Now, they're bringing back a lot of what they had last year.
Yeah.
But
so, basically,
they're relying on just everybody being better than they were last year.
Jason Mastrodonato is a young man.
Yep.
And he has a crystal ball here.
Okay.
For the Red Sox. Number one, Divas, the 20-year-old who led the Red Sox, blah, 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 will finish with a 30-homer season in which he and newcomer J.D. Martinez combined to rejuvenate the Sox offense. Well, I think he'll get a lot more pitches to hit with J.D. Martinez behind him.
Yep.
If in fact it happens.
Right.
Yeah. If it doesn't happen, he's out there flapping in the breeze.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got Hanley behind you.
yeah. Those are shaky grounds.
Hey, you know what? Contract year for Hanley, right? It's the last year of his deal.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's the last year of his
deal. If he
deal.
ever gets 505 or 515 ABs,
Yeah.
he gets a
He gets another year. You're right. That's not going to happen.
But no.
That's not going to happen. But 458 bats?
Maybe. And that's
know.
awful to think about. Despite the offense, the Red Sox are derailed by the unexpected complications in their starting rotation. This is his prediction. Unable to find a schedule that keeps Chris Sale energized and effective, Price also loses his battle with a dangling elbow ligament. Drew Pomeranz and Eduardo Rodriguez are unable to overcome scatters. So we're saying it's going to be a disaster, and every pitcher the Red Sox have is going to fall apart.
Everybody's going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. However, he does come up with this glowing bit about Alex Cora being the second coming of Superman.
Is that right?
Yep.
Going to rally the troops.
He's going to really be something.
Get 110% out of everybody.
Yep.
Wow.
It's going to be something.
It's going to be something. Okay.
By the way, the crystal ball for the Patriots is a little more interesting. Number one, bye-bye Malcolm Butler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep him, but...
I would too. But there may not be a groundswell out there for him.
No, I think, he'll go. He'll get... I don't think he's going to get franchise level money.
No, he's not.
But he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid.
Logan Ryan got paid, right?
That's right. Yeah. Josh McDaniels will be a head coach next year. Maybe New York.
Yeah. Maybe.
Tom Brady signs a contract extension. These are really hard-hitting predictions.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So the Red Sox, summing it up, I'm very disappointed that they haven't shown any initiative at all.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Have they,
Did they really
pulled
have a plan?
The reins back on Dombrowski?
Yeah. I don't know. They have a little room. They still have a lot of wasted money, so they're close to the luxury tax area because they're still paying Hanley $22, and they're still paying Sandoval money, and they're still, so I don't know. They're not doing it. They're not doing much.
Boy,
Now, supposedly they're out with Martinez, right? So, I mean, Martinez, you're north of $20 million, certainly.
Yep.
It's Scott Boras.
So they settled for 27 over 6 years or something.
I just don't like that deal.
No, 37 years old and
right.
Yeah.
And again, back to if you're going to do that, why didn't you get Stanton?
Why didn't you get
young
Encarnacion last year and bite the bullet?
Right.
Jesus, 3 years, $15 million a year.
Yeah.
The guy hit 35, 36 home runs.
Yeah, they whiffed on him too.
I want to get to basketball.
Okay.
Danny Ainge is becoming a master team builder / trade swindler.
He is.
In the true Red Auerbach fashion. Drafting Jason Tatum in round 1, spot 3, is something that sounds like a bit of far-fetched fiction, but guess what? He did it.
Yeah, good move. Because that Lakers pick is becoming valuable right now.
More and more.
As we sit here, they're in the second position in the lottery right now.
The signing of Al Horford and the Kyrie Irving trade are also moves that harken back to the old days of Red Auerbach. Al Horford is not falling apart. He's playing better.
No,
better.
I think he's better this year than he was last year.
Well, because he's got better people around him, I think. Yeah.
And he's a good player. He does a lot of small things.
Yeah. Remember Cliff Hagan, Frank Ramsey, and Lou Chiropoulos that he stole? And Larry Bird?
Yeah.
Kevin McHale and Chief Parrish, all in maneuvers in the dark of the night.
Yeah.
Watching...
Bill Walt?
Yeah. That probably... Well, I go way back with Celtics, back to Cousy and Sharman and all that. But I tell you what, more modern day, that team with Bill Walton on it was the most entertaining bloody Celtics team of all times, I swear.
86 Celtics, yeah. Had a lot of characters on there.
They sure did. Now, basically the crystal ball for the Celtics really stinks. Something. Well, we hope that Hayward comes back, and it just reiterates what I said about these getting these swindles. He's going to pull off another one. He said.
Right. So the question is, will continue to be, Anthony Davis. You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's a possibility, but it would be next summer. I don't see it as getting done during the year. It's tied to what DeMarcus Cousins does. DeMarcus Cousins is putting up incredible numbers this year.
He is. He's
The guy's a monster.
You know, he is becoming the dominant force of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Celtics have got. Would they really trade Brown and Tatum both?
Not both, no.
Because that is
They don't have to.
allegedly what it's going to take.
Right. And that's why it's next summer. And the other piece of that puzzle, you know, the way the thing works, you could have 3 max players. So if you think forward going, you're gonna do that. You're gonna have Kyrie Irving, you're gonna have Gordon Hayward, and you're gonna have Anthony Davis, right? And then you're able to keep Tatum until he grows up to be that level of player. And then by then somebody has to peel off, right? Because you can basically have 3 of those guys.
If
and
we
you
can
fill
keep
them around.
them.
So the odd man out of that, in all likelihood, is going to be Marcus Smart.
I think so too, but I don't.
Because somebody will be willing to. He's going to be a restricted free agent next summer. But either that, probably not next summer, but the summer after that, you know, somebody's going to be willing to pay him $20 million. And the Celtics won't be able to do that.
No.
Which means maybe he becomes a chip in the Anthony Davis trade.
Yeah.
And he does sign an extension with New Orleans. Al Horford needs to be part of that trade to make the salary cap work to bring Davis back. I mean, Al has to be in that trade, period. And then you have the Lakers pick. Now, conversely, this Lakers pick, some of these kids coming out look like potential franchise players. I don't know if you've seen this kid, you know, the big guys,
Yeah.
the kid at Duke, Bagley. But this kid, Trae Young, at Oklahoma, I don't know if you've seen him. He is Steph Curry Jr. He comes down and he launches, he's 10 or 12 feet out beyond the three-point line. He's well beyond the NBA three-point line. And he looks just like Steph Curry. It's like they cloned him.
Wow.
And the kid he's a freshman. The other night he had 39 points and 14 assists. He's a point guard.
Wow.
Right?
So all you can say about that is wow.
And he shoots the lights out. So when you think of Celtics, if they have a chance to get one of these kids, everybody says, oh, they need the big. I don't know if they want the big. I think if you ask Brad Stevens, would you rather have a franchise big or a franchise shooter? He'd take the franchise shooter on this team.
I think you're right.
That's the problem with Jaylen Brown and Marcus at this point, is they're not that guy. I mean, you know, when you think back to Ray Allen as your 2,
Yep.
right? A real pure shooter.
Yeah.
And neither one of them is a pure shooter. I
Yep.
like Jaylen Brown. He brings energy. He's so athletic.
And he's going to be really strong defensively.
But he's
got to learn.
He needs that outside shot, though. He doesn't have it yet.
Doesn't have it yet. Yeah. How about the Bruins? They get any outside shots?
They got some young kids. Play the kids. We've been talking about it since the end of last season.
To me, the hockey stories are.
So they're playing the kids, and they're doing better than ever
Yes, they are.
in the last few years.
The hockey stories are the Las Vegas Golden Knights being in first place
Yeah,
in their division.
pretty amazing.
Much better, a better record than the Bruins. It is amazing, yeah. The Bruins are showing signs of life.
They are.
Charlie McAvoy is the real thing.
Yeah, he's a.
And this kid, Matt Gerslick, is.
He can play. He used to grow up, but he can
I'm not
play.
going to send him back down to Providence.
No.
I think he's up.
Yeah.
Winnipeg has improved. But you know what I looked at was the Providence Bruins. Now that's a 30-team league, the American Hockey League. Mm-hmm. They are in first place in the Eastern Division. They have 100 goals for, 81 against. That's a plus 19. Their goals against is the 5th lowest in the AHL. They're playing well.
Yeah. They've still got some kids down there that they're very hopeful
Very hot,
for.
yeah. In fact, I guess now, I hate like hell to see it happen. But they actually saying, well, we've got some left-handed shots, and, teams are going to be very interested in trading for them, and maybe at the trading deadline we can dangle a couple of them for a proven player.
Yeah.
Well, that is exactly the wrong thing to be thinking about. So we can get another stiff?
Well, yeah, presumably.
Yeah.
I mean, show me the deal, but yeah, I hope they don't do that. There's a lot of encouragement on some of I like some of these young
I
kids.
do.
In
fact,
this kid Heinen, I like that.
Yeah. Some of these kids are playing very well. Again, I can't say enough good things about Charlie McAvoy.
And he's a franchise type
and you know
number
that
one defenseman.
Somehow or other, they almost have a rotation now in the goal because Tuukka Rask is playing lights out. I mean, he's unconscious.
Yeah, he's been very good
very
lately.
strong. And the Bruins are, you look at the schedule, especially this latest run they're on, you're saying, well, they're going to have a letdown. They're going to have a bummer of a game, or this isn't going to last forever. And guess what? They're winning the games against the stiff teams. Right. Those are the ones you want to punish, and they're doing that.
Right.
Yeah,
they're looking good.
It's fun to knock off Tampa Bay. Yeah, or, if Winnipeg comes to town, fun to knock them off. But when the Saps come to town,
got to make
those are the ones you've got to get the 2 points from.
Right.
But I refuse to go rat mad over this because the Bruins have really disappointed me the last couple 3 years.
They still got a ways to go.
Yeah.
The assumption is that they're probably a couple of years away from being a really strong.
But they're moving in the right direction.
They seem to be, and I agree with you. Don't screw it up. I mean, Backes has played well since he came back, but I still don't like that deal. You're stuck with him now for another 3 years.
He'll be out there in a wheelchair, for heaven's sakes, the last couple of years.
Tying up cap space.
Yeah, and this business about, we can move a couple of the kids, the ones that can really skate, get rid of Kevin Miller, for God's sakes.
Yeah. He's been pretty good this year. You have to admit.
No, he has.
Yeah.
And he's very physical.
He is physical.
But don't.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't.
I don't. I just. And by the way, should we send a sympathy card to the Montreal Canadiens fans for us giving them Claude Julien?
Yeah. How's that going?
Yeah. How's that working out up there on St. Catherine Street? But all in all, the sports scene is pretty vibrant in Boston.
As we head into 2018, yes, it is.
I mean, tell me something. The Red Sox are going to be the Red Sox. They'll do something probably stupid. It'll make us mad, but you got the Patriots. You got the Celtics. Now you got the Bruins.
Bruins all heading north. All heading in the right direction.
Yeah. By the way, someone asked the other day, it was a rhetorical question, but what was the best move that Danny Ainge made? And so it was kind of like a sandbag question, and the deal with the Nets and this, or maybe, the guy said no. Signing Brad Stevens was the best move he ever made.
It was.
He is one cool character.
Right, and his players like and respect him.
He's got that Mideast,
Yeah, Indiana boy.
Middle of the country logic.
Yeah.
He's
grounded.
Grounded.
Yeah.
Perfect word.
Yeah.
Midwesterners, I love them. I loved going out there, traveling out there. The people are the salt of the earth. And boy, if he had Midwest tattooed on his chest,
Yeah.
he couldn't be more of a Midwesterner.
Yeah, Indiana.
Yep.
Basketball.
That's right. Yep. So, what you got for a prediction for the Celts?
I think they'll get to the Eastern Conference Finals
You
this
think?
year.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. I mean, I think they'll lose. You know, I think Cleveland will go to the finals. And
LeBron.
And I think,
by himself.
And I think Golden State will beat them again.
Yeah.
This time he'll have Isaiah with him.
The Bruins.
The Bruins playoffs.
Yeah.
Maybe win a round.
I think so
If
too.
they win a round, call it a successful year.
Yep. Yep.
Develop the kids, make the playoffs, win a round. Okay.
Yeah. Now we're ready for the next
step,
move.
though.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. And it has to be to continue to bring these kids up.
Right.
Now, if you, again, who knows, but the hockey writers, the bloggers and all, the Red Sox are getting the Bruins are getting a lot of calls about the kids at Providence.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'd be hesitant. I would tread carefully.
Yeah. Oh, very carefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them do what the Red Sox did.
Right.
Yeah. Blow the whole
Right.
system apart. Yeah. Well, we've come to the end of the trail here, partner.
Have we? Yeah.
So, folks, we thank you for tuning in. Come on back in a couple of weeks and we'll wow you with some more.
There you go. We'll be well into the NFL playoffs by then.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll probably be story number one.
Right.
Right. So listen, folks, stay warm.
Yeah.
And as we do the show, we're predicted with a blizzard tomorrow.
Blizzard tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
As you're watching the show, you already know what happened. So.
Very good. Friends, thanks for tuning in. Good night.
Good night.